All right, I gotta say something about this whole mess with the Bills. Yes, Dolphins fan, whatever. The problem with football these days is the opinionated biases that everybody has. Me, I could put my team to the side. I could take and even say things that are wrong with my team and things that are doing well and things that need to change. And I can see from outside perspective. I don't let my emotions and my opinions get in the way of my judgment on factual evidence that has happened throughout the last few years. Problem that I keep seeing everywhere. ESPN, NFL, Fox, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care where it's at. Wherever these people are giving out the information, they're all biased. Okay, I like some of these guys' takes, but you can tell that they're biased, and they're not even hiding it. Okay, Skip Bayless is a Cowboys fan. What does he always say every freaking time he posts, right? Oh, my Cowboys, and oh, and then my Cowboys, and then shut up about your stupid Cowboys. Okay, just like my Dolphins are stupid too. I don't care. It's a football. It's a sport. Okay, they play their game. You like your team. That's cool and all, but when you're an analyst, when you're somebody out here trying to push knowledge to new fans, new people that come in, or even people who have been here for a long time, you should probably keep your biases away. That's the first thing you learn in journalism, is to take your biases out of what you write and what you come out with. It's one of the first failures of being a journalist is if you are biased and you have opinionated by something you are personally emotional about. Okay, I don't care about. This is not about the Dolphins, okay? I have nothing really against the Bills besides they're in the AFC East. Wow. The biggest thing that I want to know is, so Stephon Diggs gets traded, okay? People want to blame him for being a diva, per se. When he was in the Vikings, he was a diva because he wanted the bag like Thielen had. He was doing better than Thielen. He was the star of the show and getting paid like the peasant. But even he felt like he had more in the tank or more to give to an organization, and they didn't want to take that seriously. So he was getting frustrated. He left, whole mess, right? Goes to the Bills. What happens? He goes to the Bills. Allen has his best year right off the bat. They go to the AFC Championship. They lose to Kansas City, I think it was that same year, by 13 seconds or something like that. And since then, it's been basically a downfall. Was it Stephon's fault they lost? No. Was it Josh Allen's fault they lost? No. But that right there hit everybody. It was like a tap of the nuts. Like that right there just destroyed it all. That made him upset because 13 seconds, you're going to the Super Bowl, right? This is your big stage. You made it. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. So there was already tension there. Okay. Josh Allen, okay, so people understand this. I used to not like too much, only because I felt like the media pushed him to be more of a jockey kind of, I'm so good, my crap doesn't stink type person. And I found out recently in the last probably 6 months to a year that he's kind of changed a little bit more towards the better. So I'm getting over that hump with him. But the biggest thing is, by the way, pause. The biggest thing that I have a problem with him is just like all the other running back quarterbacks. Okay, Lamar, Hurts, Fields. Okay, are they really good at being dynamic, putting the teams on their back, making splash plays and this and that? Yes, right. They're as solid as they come. Like, you need him to pick up 10 yards, he runs it with his legs, great, right? But me personally, I see it as the guys who are running a lot have cannons, but they're not as accurate, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be accurate as far as like, wow, did the ball go right here? Did it go right here? Did it go over here? No, it could be the timing of accuracy. It could be, did the person have a chance to catch the ball? Okay, I'm not trying to toot nothing, but when Tyreek said Tua has the most catchable ball, it's because Tua puts these guys in positions where they can catch the ball and get some yak at the end of the day, which is funny because they still don't have a lot of yak at the end of the season. They're usually around like middle of the pack. So, but the biggest thing that I find is that, you know, these guys are really good at putting a team on their back, finding a way to find those 10, 15 yards that they need to with the running and yada, yada. But the reason why is because they cannot process the defenses, or they may have hard times reading open or reading opportunities they have available in their reads. So here's my perspective of why Stefan's angry. Okay. There's been multiple times where Stefan's been wide open, beyond wide open, touchdown easily, like he can do it, but Josh Allen throws to the other guy. Okay. Now that could just be the reading, and maybe he wasn't open then, but it's a timing thing. There's something wrong with the plays, or there's something where Josh Allen just isn't seeing him, whether it's, you know, bad reading order, or maybe he was open late and he didn't have the time. Something's wrong with the timing, the reading, or something in that quarterback, you know, situation. All right. Is it all on Allen? No. There's some coaching shit in there too. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Please don't. Whatever. I'm not monetizing anyway. But is there some coaching in there as well? Yes. Yes, absolutely. But what we're not going to do is say that Diggs has fallen off, that he's trash, he's wasted, he's going to go to the Texans and be a problem. Stroud is a better passer than Josh. Okay. Stroud has better reading, better. He's better at realizing the open players. He's good at getting the ball to, you know, multiple different options. He doesn't run as much. He knows how to process better mentally. Okay. He can still run if he needs to, just like Patrick Mahomes, just like Tua's trying to be, just like some of these guys that, you know, if you have to, get those 10 yards with your feet. That's cool. But I feel like all these other guys are kind of getting so used to running that they're giving it one or two reads. If it's not there, they're on their way. They're out of the pocket. They're running the 15 yards, or they're trying to be, you know, hero ball, and they're waiting, and then they go, oh, that guy's open. And then by the time he gets the ball out, they're not open no more. It's jump ball, you know. And Stefan's sitting there like, yo, like, I might be wide open. You miss me, but now I'm covered, and you want to throw the ball now. Now I got to be amazing, and I got to make some crazy, you know, Justin Jefferson type or Odell one-hand type catch every game, right? Put in perspective, you're playing 3-on-3 pickup basketball, okay? And you have a guy that, you know, you're a great shooter, you're amazing, you're getting wide open. Like, nobody's even guarding you. Basically, they're standing at the ends, they don't think you can shoot, whatever it is. Like, they're not keeping up with you, you're beating them somehow, like you're getting open. And every time you're like, pass the ball, come on, I have wide open, let me just shoot this. And instead of them passing the ball, they run to do a layup and they miss. And they keep doing it. What are you going to do? You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be, you know, throwing your hands in the air. You're going to be like, yo, what are you doing? I'm wide open. Can we do something about this? Now, there's two ways you can go about it, okay? You can realize that, you know, maybe you got to work on some things. Maybe in the off season, instead of sitting on your boat or hanging out with your friends golfing on a golf course, maybe you take that off season kind of like, you know, keep bringing them up. I'm sorry, I am a Dolphins fan. Tua, every off season has the best off season work, you know, expectancy, work, effort. Like, he does everything he needs to do to try to get better that next year. It's been every year he's worked on something, okay? Meanwhile, you see these stars, right? Like, Patrick Mahomes is amazing. I'm not going to take anything from the guy. He's on a boat with his girl just chilling, drinking a beer, hanging out, right? Why isn't he out there figuring out how to get better? I mean, yeah, of course he's amazing, but he could be better. Anybody can get better. But some of these guys think that they made it, right? They might be doing some things, but they're not focusing on what it is that's really holding them back to make it better. Josh, great. He's great at running. He's great at getting out of trouble. He can make those splash plays. He's got all that. What he needs to work on, and this is what I'm getting from all this with the dig stuff, he needs to work on his reads. He needs to work on the more mental side of things. Okay? He does that, watch out. Okay, and that's coming from a Dolphins fan. That's coming from everything. But here's the thing. Diggs leaving this team takes that coverage. So that CB1, CB2, whatever they, let's just say, all right, so people say, oh, well, Diggs only had 50, averaged 51 yards the last 6 or 7 games of last year. The presence of him on the field alone is what allowed Shakir to have a good season, decent season. What allowed Kincaid to really hit those under the under the coverage type passes, because he's having the CB1 on Diggs. The cornerback 1 of every team is on Diggs, right? So let's say cornerback 1 is on Diggs, maybe even cornerback 2 at times because they're double teaming him at times. So now wide receiver 2, which was Davis, he was getting, quarterback 2 and 3. Shakir was getting 3 or 4. So he's getting the people that, or whatever. He's getting the lower end of the cornerbacks that he has to face. Okay? Now let's do this math. Take away Diggs, right? Now you have Curtis Samuel. You have Shakir. You have Hollins. Hollins is good. He's good. He's not amazing. He's a feature catcher here or there. He might get you like 2 catches a game, 3 catches a game. He might save you every now and then for a first down. Curtis Samuel is really good, but he has health problems. But he's not as good as like a wide receiver 1. He's more like a wide receiver 2 or 3. Shakir is not a wide receiver 1 either. He's a 2 or 3, maybe even more on the 3 side. But let's just say we move Curtis Samuel into wide receiver 1. He's getting bullied by that cornerback easily. That cornerback 2 is bullying Shakir. I'm sorry. Right? He's not getting cornerback 3. He's getting, excuse my language. Oh my God. He's getting cornerback 2. Right? So they have Hollins. Hollins has to be the feature of all of it because he's going to have the worst cornerback to cover. Or safety. Whoever's going to cover him. Right? But that's not that hard. So let's say, in all honestly, they go into the draft and they draft 1 or 2 wide receivers, rookies, by the way, not proven commodities. They don't really have a lot of money to be throwing around for any big names. They can't get a Higgins; it's too much for them. They might be able to get like a Tyler Boyd, but he's asking for a lot too. Something I heard. Reason, man, I wish you would never say yesterday. When it comes to fruition, I'm gonna cry. Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk wants out, right? Ayuk is a wide receiver 1. I'm sorry. That guy is amazing. That would be an instant replacement for Diggs, and I feel like that would be a pretty solid, addition. Now, the way they can do that is by packaging some of those picks they have, and then we'll have a different conversation. But here's why I'm on this video right now. This is where I'm kind of annoyed with is looking at all these, YouTubes and ESPN and all these guys, Skip, RC, all of them, right? They keep talking like it's not going to be a big loss. And then they say that, some of these guys are still thinking they're going to be better than the Dolphins. They're going to be better than the Jets, okay? The Jets, we don't know what's going to happen, okay? We really don't. We know that, Rodgers is a beast, but he's coming off of an injury that not a lot of quarterbacks come off of, and he's older too, so we don't know. Okay, the O-line's got a little better. You got Breece Hall, who's healthier now. You just picked up Mike Williams, beast of a receiver. Problem is he's got health issues, and that turf is not going to help either. You got Garrett Wilson, already a beast there. You got your defense. Everything looks good. Problem is we have not seen it in fruition. We haven't seen it actually come onto the field and be a thing. We saw them do well. We saw them still get a lot of good wins with Zach Wilson at quarterback, and that just shows you that there's a possibility of them getting like instead of a 7 win, I would think probably around 9 or 10. They might make the playoffs this year. Okay, but that's if everything clicks like to a T. Then the Jets may make the playoffs, right? Whereas the Dolphins are they're a little bit more proven. Okay, The reason why I say that is we only lost really 2 or 3 main players in the defense, but we picked up a lot of solid key players that are more depth and can really, solidify some of those injury issues we had towards the end of the season, which really derailed our season last year. I know I'm a Dolphins fan, so you can say I'm biased to this, but logically here, we were destroying the AFC East up until about mid-season, going towards the end. If you pay attention to football, then you know that the Dolphins literally, you can call this the excuse. We lost Phillips. We lost Chubb. We lost Howard. We lost Van Ginkel at one point. We lost, so our defense was going to hell. We had Kohu on injury. We had Holland on injury. We had, on our offense, if you want to go there, we had Terran Armstead. We had Connor Williams, our center, go out, which made our left, right guard? And Eichenberg. Lord, I can't think. Eichenberg had to come from an offensive line position and try to snap a ball and play center for the first time in his life. Okay? There was a lot of issues there. A lot of times there's videos of him pushing players into our guys and got them hurt. Hence, Terran Armstead. Who else did he hurt? I'm going to say Lamb got rolled up a little bit. Wynn got messed up, right? Lamb was good. Wynn was the one that got messed up. So, we had a lot of injuries towards the end of the season that really derailed what we were doing. But we were really pushing to take the AFC conference. Not just the AFC East. We were pushing towards the conference. Until some of these main key guys that we have that are literal game changers. They're pretty much our whole main team was on injury or injury reserve. Also keep in mind, Tyreek Hill and Waddle were never on a team healthy together 100% at all the whole year, right? Mostert and Achane battled back and forth with injuries. Jeff Wilson came back towards the end of the season, and he wasn't as good as he was the last 2 times. Chris Brooks got hurt. Everybody in our team, we had the longest list of injuries on every single injury list out there last year. So you want to call it an excuse? Call it an excuse. That's fine. I will let you have your little say, but given that we were in the playoffs 2 years running, the type of momentum we were going on, so I got hurt, and all we did this year was lose 2 guys. Yes, Robert Hunt and Wilkins, 2 beasts on the defense. But we signed Zach Sealer. That's the equivalent of Wilkins right there. Make sure to get him in there. We're going to pick up another line right there to fill in for a Wilkins, or at least be serviceable. Okay? We replaced a lot of people. We got Shaq Barrett. We got Brooks. We got Gallimore. We got all these guys that are really, really serviceable and can really at least hold things down and be more a unit rather than just 1 or 2 key players that are amazing. We have a bunch of guys that are like 80-90% of what we had before, but they're multiple guys, and it's depth too, and we're still going. We added that on offense. We added Jonnu Smith. Tua's out right now working with the QB3, and also he's working 5-6 hours a day with the other thing, trying to work on his agility and stuff like that. Then we got Waddle and Tua finally healthy. Waddle and Tyreek finally healthy. We're looking for a wide receiver 3. We're going to get one. We have that John Smith, like I said. We have Fortson, who worked with Tyreek. We have all these things that were coming to fruition. Our offensive line has gotten better. We're still working. We still need to plug in that one spot, which is the right guard, a little bit better, which we're still going to do. We have $25 million coming after June 1st. That's before the season starts, and we're going to find somebody. We're going to find 2 or 3 guys probably, and we're going to get ourselves a wide receiver 3 that is pretty much a wide receiver 2 on most teams. Okay? And we're going to get ourselves another O-lineman to take that right side. And Jack Driscoll and Eichenberg can literally be good serviceable backups wherever the hell we pick up. Maybe a Daniel Thompson or something like that. But just to shoot things short, we've gone and replaced our guys and got better, more depth, more pieces. Bills lost both sides of the ball, picked up mediocre players, and more reliant on Josh Allen than ever, which I would never do. Like I said, he's not terrible. He's not bad. He's actually really good. I wouldn't say he's elite. I would say there's times that he does flash that, but he needs to work on a few things mentally. Okay, but you're telling me that's going to beat a Rodgers team if it's healthy and everything goes well, or a Dolphins team that's been a dominance besides the injuries. I don't see it happening unless they go get themselves a Brandon Ayuk or somebody in this draft that's going to somehow pop out and be a crazy. They get lucky and get a Justin Jefferson or something. That's the only way they're going to keep up. Okay? And the Pats may, with all their picks and everything early, they may be able to jump the Bills. And it might be a Bills in fourth, which would be crazy to me because they should not be. They handled this very poorly. They switched their whole game plan, went to this run-first bullshit that never works. It never works. It never works. When was the last time a running quarterback won a Super Bowl? I'll wait. It didn't happen. When was the last time a team that didn't have a quarterback to save them in the air or throw a good ball won a Super Bowl? Didn't happen. Who's won in the last 5-10 years? Brady, Mahomes, Stafford. Are they running quarterbacks? Absolutely not. Can they run if they have to? Absolutely. But that's not their number one thing they do, and they don't carry 1,000 yards in a season or 800 yards in a season and 25 touchdowns through the fucking ground. Excuse my language. Y'all say the pocket quarterback is dead, but I've never seen it die. All I keep seeing is this agenda being pushed about this running quarterback thing that has not lived up to pass the pocket quarterback yet. Look at the playoffs. Besides Lamar, Allen, and Hurts, even though Hurts got hurt, there's only 3 running backs that made it into the playoffs. Running quarterbacks. They all took early exits. Nothing I'm saying is fake or false. This is all from what we saw last year. I have nothing against the Bills, like I said, besides the fact that they're in the AFC East. I have nothing against the Jets or Patriots. All of them are just regular teams. They just happen to be in my freaking conference. Do I want them to lose? Yes, I'm a Dolphins fan. But I don't let this get away from my knowledge of the game and knowing what could be the problem and why people act the way they do. I hope that basketball thing made sense to most of you guys, because literally that makes sense. But anyways, I'm going to start my own YouTube, hopefully. I'm trying to get up there, maybe do some podcasts, try to reach out to some of these guys. I want to get into this YouTube type industry. I want to talk to you guys. I feel like there's a lot of false stuff going out here. A lot of guys who can't take away the team for the sport. I'll throw it right over there and don't care about it. All right, I love my team, but at the end of the day, it's the sport I love. Okay, and it's annoying to see that people can't do that. Okay, tired of ESPN pushing these narratives because they, oh, the Cowboys are my favorite team, and Nick Wright? I think his name is Nick something. The Kansas City guy. But the fact that I can say Kansas City guy, and most of you guys probably know what I'm talking about, it's ridiculous. There should not be a Mahomes Mountain. That's very, very biased. And it's right there in your face. Y'all crap on everything about my team, and we lead in almost every category, or at least in the top 5 or top 10 of every category. Our quarterback had the most passing yards last year, and not as many yak than everybody thinks. And y'all crap on him every time. But nobody looks at the stats. They look at what they want to see. They want to see these jock-like people, like Lamar. He's a jock. Sorry. Burrow, the guys that kind of walk around like, I'm him. No, you're not. You're just a guy playing football that makes millions of dollars. When was the last time you won a Super Bowl? Mahomes, sure, walk around like that while you can. You earned it. He's the only person in this thing where I can say, you know what? Walk with your nose up a little bit. Cool. You've been to what? 4 Super Bowls? You have 3 rings, I think, at this point, and you're like, what, 27? That's insane. Why wouldn't I say keep your nose up, do whatever you want? But his years are coming up too. At the end of the day, we're going to see how good Mahomes really is, because unlike Tom Brady, who I didn't like originally either, but he ended up growing on me a little bit, Tom Brady had Gronk for a majority of his time. If he didn't have Gronk, he had Julian Edelman. Or he had both. Or he had like that 1 or 2 targets that he can literally say, like, those are going to do it, right? Mahomes has it right now. He's got the coach. He's got Travis Kelce. He's got 1 or 2 guys, Rashid Rice, whatever, that can kind of help out. That's great. But I don't know if you know this, Andy Reid is a big, heavy man, and he's older. He's not going to be a coach for 10 years. Right? Travis Kelce's got maybe 1 or 2 seasons left in him. They're hoping that they can go young and grow it with Mahomes, and Mahomes can stay where he's at. But they're still going to have to replace a Kelce, which is not easy. That's not something you just wait, you go to the draft, and you're like, yeah, I got one. No. You have to develop one. You have to hope that one is sitting there ready that can do it. You need a Kincaid to pop out and be like, wow. You need a Ferguson. You need a, what was that one guy's name last year that was really good? Detroit. Laporta. You need somebody like that. But it's not something that's just handed to you all the time. So I say all this to say, I'm starting a channel. It's going to take me a little bit to grow. Hope you guys watch this. I hope you guys enjoy my take. You know, I'm as unbiased as it comes for most of my points. I try not to bring my team into it. Okay? But I do every now and then, because at the end of the day, I watch my team the most. But I can literally talk about any team out there, and I can tell you their flaws. I can tell you where logically they need to improve. I can tell you what was holding them back. I can tell you everything. Because I don't just watch football because I want my team to win and screw everybody else. One, I watch it to win money because I play fantasy football, which may also be a sub thing to this. I may put up some postings and stuff about fantasy, because I have won a lot of championships in the last 3 years. And I picked this up about 5-6 years ago, and I've been nothing but, you know, first to third every single team that I ever chose. Right? I can go over draft order, I do things like that. I might look into that for this upcoming season. It's running long, about to be 30 minutes. I'm going to stop it in about 2 minutes, but I'm going to have a lot of stuff coming up, right? If you're a Dolphins fan, subscribe. If you're not a Dolphins fan, please subscribe, right? If you have questions, ask me. If you think that, you know, you need help understanding something, or you feel like you want to get something off your chest, and you feel like you need somebody's opinion on, you know, what you think your team needs or anything like that, I'm here. I'll try to respond to everybody that comes through, but, you know, the biggest thing at the end of the day, I'm trying not to be biased, and that's going to be the most key thing of this channel, is unbiased viewpoints on all teams, right? I will go over things that happen with my Dolphins, of course, and I will be really excited. I'll be going over, you know, good and bad throughout the season. But, you know, that might be a little more biased because it's actually going to be about Dolphins, some of those posts. But most of these posts are going to be about what is each team needs to do. So, each week I may do like a recap, see where everything happened, see what people need to improve on as far as teams go. Outlooks on the rest of the season, stuff like that. But we'll develop as it goes. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I know it's a long one, but, you know, I hope it's all true. Let me know what you guys think as far as your opinions on the whole Diggs thing. You know, some people think it's a blessing, some people think it's not. I just don't see how it's not a problem, unless they address it in the draft and they get lucky, or they somehow trade up some of those picks to get a wide receiver 1 to replace the man. I just feel like that was a huge loss. They could have went at it differently. I think I missed something. The other way they could have handled it, they could have said, one, let's try to, let's just say screw this. Let's cut off the limb while it's bleeding or whatever. Put a tourniquet on and let's move on. Or they could do like they did. Or they could have said, you know what, this man has almost took us to the Super Bowl. Maybe our quarterback needs to work on some of the things that mentally he could work on. Maybe some more better play coverage options. Maybe stop having him try to play hero ball. Use his receiver better. Maybe work on timing. Also, they could have added, they could have kept Diggs, added another wide receiver like they're trying to do right now. That's in the same category as what a Diggs is, with Curtis Samuel. That would have been nasty. But they did the wrong thing for me. I would have never got rid of Diggs. Y'all can say he's a crybaby all you want. I don't see that. I just see that he wanted the opportunity to make the Super Bowl. Just like everybody else's idea is, they want to be the best. They want to show that they can win a chip. They had an opportunity. They let it go with 13 seconds left against the freaking Chiefs. And since that day, I mean, it was literally, you can see it clear as day. That's what happened. Please like, subscribe, whatever if you can. I don't know if I have an account. I'm trying to make sure I get this right, but I'm trying to work on all the back end stuff now to get things going. I appreciate you for watching this video. Please watch my future stuff. Other than that, stay classy, fins up, and look forward to talking to you guys later. Appreciate you.